I need to vent. I mean, truly, deeply vent, into the digital ether where no one knows me and maybe someone out there understands. Because right now, I'm feeling so isolated, so completely drained, that I don't know where to turn. To preface, I'm only 27 years old. Sarah, my girlfriend, is 31. This isn't what I signed up for, not really. I knew what I was getting into, but the reality is so much heavier than the promise. And before anyone rushes to judge, let me say this, I don't hate this kid. Her name is Chloe. She's 13 now, and for 5 years, I've watched her grow up. There have been good days, so many good days, and I've loved being a part of her life. She's funny, she can be incredibly smart, and there are moments when I see the sweet, happy kid she used to be. The problem isn't her at her core. The problem is what's happened to her. The spiral began the day she got her first phone with unlimited access to social media. It was like we handed a high-powered supervillain a tiny device that let them see and influence her every thought. All the innocent, playful energy she had, that ADHD hyperactivity that made her a wild, chaotic, but mostly harmless force of nature, got funneled into something dark and ugly. She became a mirror, reflecting all the worst things she saw online, the sass, the disrespect, the constant need for validation. Yes, she frustrates me. Yes, there are moments where I feel a primal urge to scream until my throat is raw. But I don't. Because she is a child, and I am the adult. I have to be the bigger person, even when every fiber of my being wants to give up. Sarah and I met almost 5 years ago. We were both at rock bottom. She was on a fast track to ruin, and I was right there with her. We met by chance, clung to each other, and pulled ourselves out of the pit. We got clean, we got jobs, and now, we're a 2-person powerhouse, bringing in over $120,000 a year in a low-cost of living state. We have a beautiful home, we're building a life together, and for the longest time, it felt like a fairy tale. During that period, Chloe didn't live with us. Sarah knew it wasn't the right environment for a kid, so she made sure to be a good mom from a distance, seeing her on holidays and special occasions. We were 2 broken people healing in our own space. When Chloe turned 11, we decided it was time. She moved in with us. For a while, it was okay. Her ADHD was intense, worse than any kid I've ever seen. Imagine a kid who's had 3 Red Bulls and is locked in a room full of puppies and trampolines. That was her. But it was mostly just her running around, yelling, and burning off that endless energy. It was manageable. Then came her 12th birthday, and with it, the phone. At first, it was just a few nights a week, then it became 5 nights a week by the end of the school year. She'd spend weekends with her dad, and then come back to us, bringing the entitlement and bad habits she'd picked up. She started calling us, bruh. Her sentences were peppered with whatever slang she found on TikTok. The word balls was a staple in her vocabulary. It felt like she was trying on different obnoxious personalities she saw on a screen, and the worst part was, she never took them off. Every day, the sense that the world revolved around her grew. The disrespect, the eye-rolling, the sarcastic comebacks, it just built up, a tidal wave of attitude. Today, 2 months before her 13th birthday, was the climax. It was a perfect storm of every awful behavior she's developed, and it pushed me to the edge. Last night, we promised to take her to the lake to kayak and swim. This morning, Sarah woke up with a killer migraine. Chloe was on the verge of tears, saying we had to go. I told her I'd take her myself. I was in the garage, balls deep, working on my car, as she would say. Every 15 minutes, she'd pop her head in, when are we going? You're taking too long. I finally said, we'll go at 2:30. She started whining, saying that was too long. It was only an hour away, but to her, it was an eternity. I just told her, it's 2:30 or nothing. Let me know. It was a simple, calm statement, not angry, just setting a boundary. A little while later, Sarah got up and said she felt well enough to come. So I began the monumental task of preparing for our relaxing lake trip. It was 95 degrees and thick with humidity. I was out there, alone, moving the kids' giant trampoline, hooking up the trailer to my truck, and lugging out all 3 kayaks. Meanwhile, they were inside, cool and comfortable, packing snacks and towels. When I got to her kayak, I started hosing it down to get the dirt off. She came up and, in this incredibly snotty voice, screamed, "Get the grass off. What are you doing? You're doing it wrong." I just stared at her. I had just spent an hour in the sweltering heat. I had just cleaned her mom's kayak. I handed her the hose and said, "Fine, you do it." I walked away, but the frustration was a physical weight on my shoulders. When I was done strapping the kayaks down, she screamed, "Who turned the water hose off? Why did you do that?" I said, "We're done." "That's why." She was 3 feet away from the spigot, but instead of turning it back on, she demanded, "Okay, well, come turn it back on." I said, "No. I'm busy. You do it." She proceeded to mock my voice, repeating what I said in a stupid, childish tone. This was the rhythm of the entire morning. She was a constant, nagging presence, calling us slow, and complaining about everything. If I checked a text message, she'd say, "What are you doing? Let's go." I walked away and found Sarah. I told her I was about to cancel the entire trip. I was sick of her daughter's attitude. Sarah, in her perpetual state of underplaying the situation, said, "Relax, she's just messing with you." Fast forward to the lake. I'm trying to find a parking spot and she screams, "Are you stupid, bruh? Why are you parking there?" A tiny, blonde-haired girl, calling me, bruh, and, stupid, for not going to the exact spot she wanted. I was beyond irritated. The day at the lake was a series of these moments. She demanded we drop whatever we were doing to cater to her. If she drifted too close to the shore, she'd throw a fit until her mom paddled over to save her. She even called Sarah a moron for not letting her jump off a cliff into choppy water without a life jacket. Several more "stupid" and "moron" comments later, we were packed up and heading home. I was exhausted, physically and mentally. I told them both to go inside and I would take care of everything. I was lugging all the gear, and as Sarah was trying to get out of the truck, Chloe was just sitting there, scrolling on her phone. I told her to get out. She fucking mocked me again. I was so close to losing it. She walked inside, didn't grab a single thing, not a towel, not her own bag, and went straight to the couch to watch Netflix. I can't do this anymore. I'm at my breaking point. I've told Sarah how serious this is, but she won't do a damn thing. She minimizes every attempt I make at discipline and just lets her get away with it. Today was the first time she's ever really said anything, and it was a simple, "Don't call me that." This woman, Sarah, is the love of my life. She's my partner, my best friend. We built a beautiful life from nothing. But it's a package deal. And I can't do the package. I feel like I'm a good man, trying to do the right thing, and it's destroying me. What do I do? How do you fix a problem when one of the people who created it won't even admit it exists?